Well, hello there. My name is Beth Gaff, and I am the technology trainer here at the Peabody Public Library, located in Columbia City, Indiana. And first off, I want to congratulate you on taking the steps necessary to educate yourself. It takes quite a bit for some of us to be able to do that, so props to you and applause, applause. I want to let you know that this class is geared to go at your pace, which means that you can go away from this, come back to this at any time. You're under no obligation to sit through this in one entire setting. So with that in mind, we are going to be discussing our brand new website here at the Peabody Public Library. We have an awesome looking website that may be slightly confusing to some of you because it is new. So I want to definitely go over some of these new things that we have to offer to our public, as well as the way that our website looks. This way you have a better understanding of how to get around. So I want to go ahead and get started. This by far will probably be one of the largest classes that I have posted under my videos on my channel here. So I want to go ahead and get it going. This way you can get yourself educated on our website. So I want to welcome you to our new website at www.ppl.lib.in.us. So I want to talk to you about what we're going to be covering today. We may not be covering them exactly in this order, but I am going to try to keep it as close to this order as possible. But these are some of the things that we're going to cover. We're going to cover our Peabody Public Library website interface. The interface would be that first screen you see when you get on our website, so you have a better understanding of how it kind of flows and works. We're also going to talk about all those tabs that you see on the interface and what's in each of those, as well as being able to find activities here at the library, getting into a catalog so you can get those materials you need, getting into your accounts so you can see what you have checked out, possibly go ahead and renew materials that you have. We have a calendar on here so you're able to see an entire month's worth of activities at the library. We do have a news section to get the word out of all those great activities we offer. We have some awesome online resources, so if you've never checked this out, we're gonna go into depth on that so you can understand what each one of these resources is going to do for you. The library also offers you tech help, so I'm going to talk to you about the tech help and how you can get involved. The print, copy, scan, and fax features that the library offers to all of its patrons, as well as being able to find materials, any kind of classes that may be available here at the library, being able to book a room for that special event that you may be having coming up. We also have some available links that you can click on that will get you places, as well as click links. Those are quick access. We have a search tool, as well as Ask a Librarian. So this is just some of the stuff that we're going to be talking about today during this class. If at any time you have any questions about this, you can contact me here at the library. My information is listed on the very first slide that we had here in the class. But if you need it again, my phone number here at the library is 260-244-5541, and I'm at extension 118. You can also reach me by email, which is bgaff@ppl.lib.in.us. So let's get this going. All right, so here is our interface of the Peabody Public Library's brand new site. So we're going to just talk about this interface just a little bit and what you can see on it. On the interface, you can contact us by phone number. Here is the librarian's email, as well as any kind of special notes that may be going on. Right now we're having a fantastic book sale that's going on during our Old Settlers, which is our fair week here in Columbia City. We are going to be talking about these quick links later, but this is some of these quick links that you have available to you. As well as the tabs. These are the tabs that we're going to be discussing in the next slide. Any kind of upcoming things that are important here at the library are going to be listed or scrolling through here. Things that we want to let you know. Any kind of information on this side. Activities that are available today here at the library for anyone that may be interested in that. These are also some of those quick links that we're going to be talking about, as well as getting into some of those online resources. From the interface, you can also see what our library hours are, our policies, being able to select a language, our address, our phone number, and things along those lines. So this is what the interface looks like. This is what you will see when you type in www.ppl.lib.in.us. This is going to come up for you. So I didn't want there to be any surprises, but this is exactly what this is going to look like. So why don't you right now, if you haven't done it yet, go ahead and get another tab open because you obviously have a tab open watching this video on YouTube. Right next to that tab, you should be able to open another one and go ahead and get our website pulled up. This way you're able to kind of follow along a little bit easier as I go through it as well. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started on the probably one of the biggest bulks of this class today on our website, and that's going over all of these amazing tabs that we have. Now, keep in mind that anytime that you are on a website, and it doesn't really matter what website you are on, anytime you see little arrows, like these little arrows that are next to these little words, it just means that there is more to that. So if I just put my mouse on top, I'm now able to see what else is under that. Okay, so under my library, from here we can look at news, library cards, being able to book a room, any kind of a library equipment, any kind of supporting us, being able to contact us. So let's go ahead and go into that. We're going to go into the first one there, which is our news, and we're going to talk about this a little bit more later. However, I wanted you to kind of see it. So under my library, the very first link we have here is our news, and this is how you're going to be able to find out some of those programs we have. Under the My Library tab, you can also go to Library Cards. This lets you know about how to get yourself signed up for a library card here at the Peabody Public Library, what you have to do, making sure that you are in certain service areas, and if you are not, then we do have other options for you. As well as being able to book a room. We're going to look at that next, and we're going to go into this a little deeper when we are actually going to book a room. But this just kind of gives you some of the information about booking a room and how you can get that going. As well as library equipment. So if there's anything that you need to check out or you need to use here at the library, we do have quite a bit of equipment that is available to the patrons here at the library. You can always learn more about the equipment available in the meeting rooms. You can learn about that print, copy, scan feature at the library, which we're going to talk more about later. We also have microfilm readers that you would be able to use. And if you weren't aware of that, the Peabody Public Library actually microfilms all of the Post and Mail newspapers here in Columbia City, and we have that dating back to as far as the 1800s. So if you needed to get some information or you're working on something that involves genealogy or something along those lines, or even just trying to find an old article from a long time ago, the microfilm readers would be a fantastic resource. And again, that's really only going to work for the Post and Mail, and that's our local newspaper here in Columbia City. We do have public computers, and this tells you about the information on those public computers. Other kinds of equipment that we offer here at the library would be our VHS DVD dubbing machine. This machine can be found in the Indiana room, and it's available on a first-come, first-served basis. Anyone can use the machine to copy a VHS tape to DVR, or DVD rather. But note, you may only copy your own home videos. No copyrighted material is allowed. So you would not be able to bring in some of those old VHS movies that you purchased a long time ago to be able to convert them. They would have to be your actual home movies that you have done. Videos are copied in real time, so that means that If it's a 2-hour length Christmas party that you had that you're trying to dub, then it's going to take 2 hours, okay? Also, the staff is not responsible for your materials if you leave them unattended during this process. So you would have to be in charge. Now, we're more than willing to come in there and help you out and get you going. But once you get started, it's kind of on you to get that completed. But again, if you need any assistance, we would be there for you. Available equipment that's available for checkout here at the library would be our portable LCD projector. This is something that you'd be able to take off of the grounds here at the library and use that somewhere else. As well as, let me get that one back up, as well as a projector slide projector. So you remember those old slides we have, or maybe our parents or grandparents have? We do, believe it or not, have a projector that you would be able to use to check out here at the library to watch some of those. Also, we have a portable projection screen that you're able to check out, possibly wanting to check that out with your portable projector. So keep that in mind. We do allow you to borrow other types of equipment here at the library. You will need to check with our staff, though, before you try to check some of these items out, because we do have an outreach program that we use some of these materials at. So you just want to double check here at the library. But we do offer iPads and e-readers. At this time, we have 2 iPads, a Kindle, a Nook, a Sony reader, and these are all able to be checked out. And again, this is only for adults 18 or older. There is a $5 late fee per day, being that is not returned. Please be aware that you must not change the 4-digit code when you check these out. These are linked to all the devices here at the library, and it automatically does backups because of that. So you would not be able to change that 4-digit code. Other than that, we have those great products for you, as well as launch pads. Playaway launch pads are secure preloaded learning tablets, and these would be for your preschoolers and young school-age children. Each launch pad is preloaded with interactive learning apps, games, and stories. Launchpad tablets include adapters for charging and are in sturdy cases, and these can be checked out. You can check them out for 7 days with a renewal. We also have a hotspot here at the library, so if you're in an area where you are not able to get internet, or possibly you just cannot afford it at this time, we do have one hotspot here at the library that we do allow for checkout. The checkout limit is for 18 years or older. You do have to have a photo ID to check this out. You can check it out for 1 week. You get no grace days, so it's due back in that week. If you do not return it in that week, then you are billed for it being a lost and not returned item, and the replacement fee for that would be $170. So keep that in mind. After the week loan period is up, the internet services will be shut off, so you would not be able to use it after that time. Painters must return the hotspot to the circulation desk and not the drop box. But that is another type of option that we have available to you. So keep that in mind as you're going. We do have audiovisual equipment, and that's what I was listing here a minute ago, and these are able to be checked out for 3 days, and there is no renewal or holds on items like this. It's on a first come first serve basis, and you do have to have a library card to check out equipment. You will be signing some type of a waiver form saying that you will not destroy the equipment. If you do, then there might be some precautions to that, and the library would definitely get in contact about that with you. So this is all about library equipment. I kind of read it all to you, but you can go in at any time and click on that and see what else you have. Support us. This is our tab where we have some links to different things. We're always accepting volunteers. Volunteers are probably one of the best things that we can have here at the library. So if that's something that you might be interested in, we do have a volunteer application form here. There is an interview process with the director and whoever you would be working directly under. So just keep that in mind before you actually apply. We do take donations for supporting us because we are a not-for-profit organization. We totally rely on the taxpayers' money to be able to support the library. So from time to time, we will put out things about being able to support us here at the library. We do allow donations through PayPal account, We are linked to the Community Rewards Program. So if you have a Kroger card, you could put us down and the library would start to get credit on some of those purchases you're making there at Kroger. And we are also affiliated with Amazon. So if you're making purchases through Amazon, you could actually give us some of that credit for those purchases. So just letting you know, if you're ever thinking of a time that you might want to be able to support your local library, this is the best place for you to do that. Contacting us. If you have a question about certain types of material or you need to ask a librarian some type of a question, you can do that from the My Library Contact Us tab. You can also go straight to the librarian at ppl.lib.in.us. By clicking on that, it's going to take you to whatever email system you have up, and then you're actually able to compose an email that you can send to our librarian. Now, rest assured that when you do send this through, whoever you're trying to get in contact with, the person in charge of that account at the time will make sure that your email does get to where it needs to go. All of our staff is very good about that type of thing. All right, so I gave you a lot of information. I do want to go back into one of these tabs. That was not it. That was not it. Oops. Let's go to news. There was something here that had a bunch of links on it, and I wanted you to go over them with you. And now I am not seeing it. Being able to book a room. Oh, okay. We're going to actually talk about booking a room a little bit more later. Library. Oh, here we go. Under the use of equipment here, you can learn more about equipment available in the meeting rooms. You can click here. By clicking here, it's going to take you to that meeting room policy. So we're actually going to be talking a little bit more about that when we get to that area, as well as some of these other features. Now, now about the microfilm readers, we're not going to really be discussing that other than what's inside of our website right now. So just to let you know about our microfilms, this tells you a little bit about it, as well as we have an OBIT database that is fantastic, that we're going to talk about during the online resource process. But for right now, I just wanted you to be familiar with the microfilm reader link and how you can get yourself to it. And then, of course, we do have public computers that you would be able to access. This tells you a little bit about those internet computers as well as Microsoft Office computers. We have computers in our game area in the children's department, as well as an awesome computer lab here in the basement of the Peabody Public Library. If you've never had a chance to go and look at some of this stuff, take a journey through the library, take a little field trip, kind of explore around. We have an amazing Indiana room, periodical room, computer lab, and a bunch of different types of meeting rooms. So I am going to end this particular slide with just the My Library tab, and we are going to go forward with the books, music, and movies on the next tab. So if you have any questions about any of this, be sure to let me know. Thank you. Okay, so the next tab that we're going to go ahead and talk about, and I decided to go ahead and just split all these tabs up because it would just make it a little bit easier for you to follow. We're going to go into the books, music, and movies tab, and these are some of those options that are on there. We're going to first look at borrowing materials, and this just gives you the lowdown on how to borrow materials, what the checkout policy is, what the overdue materials, what will happen, as well as being able to renew. And we're going to look at renewals when we go to My Account, because you'll have renewal options in there if you have items checked out. So the checkout policy, in order to check out materials, you must have a green Evergreen card. This is a library card, Evergreen library card. Let's see what happens if we push on our little link. It just tells you about library cards, which we have already seen. And you cannot use someone else's card. Sorry about that. You do have to use your own card. Special paperwork goes to your card, so you wouldn't want to be getting anyone else in trouble. Books, audiobooks, CDs, and magazines can be checked out for 3 weeks. Blu-rays, DVDs, and gaming software can be checked out for 1 week. Blu-rays and DVDs carry a limit of 10 checkouts. Gaming software is limited to 1 checkout. Most items can be renewed once, and books and audiobooks can usually be renewed twice. Keep in mind that the fine for late items is 25 cents per day unless stated otherwise. So if you do end up in that area where you have some overdue material, fines are 25 cents per day per item on most items, and patrons are blocked from checking out materials when their fines reach $10 or higher, or if they have 15 overdue items. To check your fines, you can log in to your account, see your and check the upper right corner. And we're going to look at a little bit more of that when we go into an account. And you can pay for your fines in person at the library. We accept cash and checks as payment for fines or lost material. All checks should be made payable to the Peabody Public Library, and you may also pay fees online when logged into your account. So keep that in mind. You also have renewals that you can do. Most items can be renewed at least 1 time. Books can be renewed twice. There are no renewals for items on waiting lists or obtained through interlibrary loans. So if you have something on hold and you've been waiting for it, chances are somebody's behind you waiting for it as well. So you would not be able to renew that item. Patrons may also renew materials by calling the library, and we can renew those for you over the phone if you're not real familiar with the renewal process through your account. Patrons will need their library card if they need to call to renew, and have the materials close by when you do. But if you do want to venture out and try to take a chance on renewing online, this kind of tells you how to do that. So first you'd have to go to the library account page, enter your ID. We gave you a PIN number when you first got your card, so you would be using that, logging in and so forth and so on. But I'm going to show you a little bit more of that when we get to the actual borrowing of materials. Our next thing would be new materials. And this is just some different ways that you can look up new materials, new books for children, fiction, multimedia. Just added to Overdrive. If you're not familiar with Overdrive, Overdrive is an ebook, audiobook. It has movies and things like that on that. That is actually linked to you through your library card, and it does not cost you anything. It's all free. You do have to have internet to access it. As well as just recently added to Hoopla, or on current titles on Zinio. Click here to find more materials. That would take you into this area here, which we're going to talk about finding materials a little bit more in detail a little bit later. If you needed to request materials, this would be your material request slip right here, where our librarian can get involved. If you know the library barcode, then you can put that in there. Or any other kind of format that you might want to get added in there, and click submit. These are online requests and holds using Evergreen, Indiana, which I'm going to show you when we get to the catalog process. Using CIRCS, and CIRCS is Indiana Statewide Remote Circulation Service. It links together the catalogs of multiple Indiana libraries into a single interface, which allows authorized users to search for the library's collections of over 150 Hoosier libraries, and then to place requests for materials owned by any of those participating libraries. The requested materials will be delivered to the user's home library for their use. And I can click here to kind of show you the access to CIRCS. If you are not familiar with the CIRCS process, this kind of replaced a little bit of your interlibrary loan system. If you're familiar with that, those would be materials that we may not carry, and neither does the Evergreen system, but you would be able to. So what is it? This is links together the catalogs, so you are able to check out materials. And this just goes into a little bit more detail. How do you pronounce it? What do they do? How big is the virtual union catalog? Does this mean I can borrow from anything? So if you are interested in something like that, then I would highly recommend that, again, this is under books, music, and movies, request materials using Circs. And here is a link. That link would take you straight to the Circs website where you'd be able to go in and find out more information about that. Or you can call us here at the library and we can assist you with that. Using the online request form or email. So you can request certain types of materials and email a librarian and they would be able to help you. You want to make sure to include this information when you do so. Okay. Streaming and downloading. So let's go into that. We do have some online materials. We're going to talk a little bit more about these when we actually get into online resources. However, these are some of the streaming options that we do have available. Comics Plus Library Edition, and it's just all about your comics, graphic novels, and this is all digital, so you would need internet to be able to access it. We do have an EBSCO ebook collection through Inspire, and we're going to be talking more about that when we get to that. Hoopla for free streaming movies, TV shows, music, and things like that, and I'm going to show you briefly how to get through that. As well as Newsbank, my bad, I'm sorry about that, provides news and information resources to our patrons with coverage of local and national topics from America's newspapers, along with specific articles, obituaries, and so forth and so on. Here's that Overdrive system I was telling you about. Zinio for Libraries is basically the biggest magazine news store that there is, and this would be all free to you. The library pays for this subscription, so they call themselves the world's largest newsstand, but these would be magazines that are in print right now. And book clubs. The library does offer quite a few different book clubs here. We do have the Timely and Timeless, which will be coming up here on Tuesday of this week, and just depends on when you're watching this video of whether this is past you or not. But do keep in mind that we do offer book clubs. Books and Booze, they take that down to our local brewery company. And some of these clubs are age limited, so you'll want to check into those. We do have some book clubs for the preteens. We have the 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten, I Can Read, and 100 Books Before High School. And this is just telling you about the Timely and Timeless book club that they're going to be that they're doing right now. And these are books that they have read in that. So this tab was all about books, music, and movies, and this is what we covered. We covered borrowing materials briefly, new materials briefly, finding materials, requesting materials, streaming and downloading, as well as book clubs. So go ahead right now, since you should have the Peabody Public Library's website up right next to you, and just kind of click on some of these and venture in there and read a little bit about what we have to offer you as our patron. Okay, so we're just going to move right along and go to Make, Do, and Learn. And these are the items that are actually in our drop down for Make, Do, and Learn. So we're going to first click on For Adults. And for the adults, this lets you know about the upcoming events that are coming up for the adult department. And this would probably run till the end. We can actually click on View All Events. By clicking on the View All Events, it actually takes us into the calendar, which shows us the entire month. Okay, and we're going to talk about that more when we get to the calendar. But for this area, this is letting you know about what's coming up here this next week. This is more about some of the programs that we offer. This is the Books Booze Book Club, Careers and Occupations. These are some of the online resources that would benefit you the most in those, and that's A to Z databases and ONET. The DIY, which we've got other kinds of online resources that can help you with those, home improvement, hobbies, Chilton's, things along those lines. More book club information, the Timely and Timeless. Any kind of online materials, which we've talked about, and this is more of those online resources. And technology classes on YouTube, which if you're watching this right now, you already know how to do it. But you can actually click on this and it takes you straight into the channel. and you can go to Video Manager once you're in that actual channel. And from here you can see all of the 43 different stream classes that are available to you to be able to observe at any time. So let's get out of that one. Any kind of announcements that the adult department might want to let you know about as far as Make, Do, and Learn, Summer Reading Challenge. We also have another program going on right now called Library Loot. So if you come to any of our outreach programs or any programs at all, then you would be able to get loot bucks, and those loot bucks are good for fines and any other kind of giveaways that we might be doing at the time. For the teens on Make, Do, and Learn. Again, this is all the upcoming teen information. We are doing a robotics series here at the library, so we're very excited about that for our summer reading program, which is Build a Better World. And some of our online resources for the teens, Learn and Practice, Artist Works for libraries, driving tests, Inspire, ProCitizen, and Pronunciator, and of course Turk. And we can look into some more of these when we actually get to the online resources section. Tropical, I do apologize for that. Tropical book lists for teens. This lets you know any kind of documents that have. So let's say we're looking into zombies. We can click on that. And this just lets you know about some books you might want to read that are affiliated with that particular item. Careers and occupations. Again, A to Z databases is fantastic for that, as well as ONET, and we're going to look at those briefly. Colleges, best schools, guide to online schools, and Online U. Those are just links that we have for you. Recommended study links. These are just some of those if you need help with your homework or any other kind of study links that might benefit you. Reading suggestions for children and teens, as well as online materials. Okay. Any kind of special announcements they want you to know about the young adults, and you still qualify for that library loot. Don't forget about that. For the children, this is the children's department here, and again, any kind of announcements they want you to know about. These are the online resources for the children, which looks like we have some new ones. Excited about that. Let's see, let's push this one and go into the next. Children and preteen book clubs, and we've kind of already gone over that. Any kind of reading suggestions for children and teens. So this looks like the same list. And these are all the upcoming events for the children's department for their summer reading. Look at all these fabulous, fabulous programs that they have to offer. That's just amazing. Family and community would be our next section there, and these are just general events open to anyone and everyone. So keep that in mind. We do have an outreach that takes us out to the Tri-Lakes area, so you can return your books and check other ones out. Online resources for education for family and community. This would be your Artist Works, driving tests, Inspire, ProCitizen, Pronunciator. Again, a lot of these we're going to go over when we actually go through the online resources. Here's some for preschool and elementary. Excuse me. These are recommended study links here, as well as quick reference cards. These quick reference cards are good for you. These are cards that I have made just to give you access. So we've been talking about Overdrive. Let's go ahead and push it. This quick reference guide just kind of tells you how to get through Overdrive, how to create an account, how to get those books downloaded, which will need to be updated because this is what our old website looked like. So I will have to change that picture, but other than that, it looks like we're pretty good on that. Also have ones for some of those tablets. So if you've gotten a new iPad here lately, this would be a great resource for you. Do it yourself, the DIYs, and this gives you some of those links for that. Being able to learn technology. These are some of the upcoming computer classes that the library has to offer you. We also have a outreach program. It's called the Mobile Lab. The Mobile Technology Lab goes out to our local coffee shop here in Columbia City, as well as our senior center. We do have a church that we go to and our local McDonald's. So if you're not able to schedule an appointment or you don't want to commit to that, then you would be able to come to one of the local outreach locations, and there is no appointment necessary for that. Due to summer reading, we are doing a digital photography contest as well as digital photography classes, and of course special type of classes. This month we visited email basics and then more than the email basics. So to attend a class, classes are held on a monthly basis at the computer lab. You can check the online calendar. Anything in green on the online calendar is the computer area, the technology area, which would be my area. So anything in green. Mobile Labs and Tech Talk, we do offer on the last Saturday of every month Tech Talk. This is just open computer lab from 9 to 1 here at the library. Sometimes in the summertime we do take this out to the farmers market. So if you would stop here at the library and I'm not here on the last Saturday of the month, then that means I've taken it out to the farmers market. So you could find me there uptown, and it's just down the street, literally not even a minute from where we are here at the library. So it's not far at all. And some of the online resources that'll benefit you are some more of those quick reference and a lot of the classes that we have to offer here at the library. These are your categories. By clicking on those, it gets you into some of those classes. We do offer one-to-one tech help. This is one-on-one appointments. These are free of charge to you. They don't cost you anything. You would just come in, call me prior, and we get you set up. Typically, appointments last about an hour, and we usually meet about once to twice a week just to kind of get you going. Once you start feeling a little bit more confident, we can start narrowing those down and maybe not see each other so much. Although I would still love to see you, we may not need to see you as much. So this is all about learning about technology and all the classes that we offer, signing up for a class. Also keep in mind that we do have Huntington, the HSC Impact Institute here, and they offer the GED classes and things along those lines. So if you're interested in that, you would want to contact the Impact Institute. These are classes at the library. This would show you any kind of classes coming up. These are the online classes, which they're just, these are just some of the online resources that we have available. So if you're ever interested in any of our events, this is where you'd be able to find that. So this tab was all about make, do, learn. I hope I was able to narrow it down for you pretty well. If you have any questions about it, or actually right now, you should go ahead and pause this video and go ahead and get in there and click some of these and just kind of read a little bit more about what you can do here at the library that involves make, do, and learning. Okay, so the next section that we're going to be talking about is our Help and Services tab. Under the Help and Services tab, you'd be able to find out about that tech help that I've been talking to you about. It talks about our free Wi-Fi, the public computers, as well as the print, copy, scan functions we have, proctoring and notary services, homebound and ADA services, and our outreach. So the one-on-one to tech help, what that is it's just sitting down with me and allowing us to kind of go over whatever it is technology-based that you want to do. And if you have, typically an appointment lasts about an hour, and we would just do this around your schedule. So I'm here for you, so I want to make sure that we get you in here when you're available to get in here. So that's what that one-to-one tech help is. Library does offer you free Wi-Fi here. For those laptops, Chromebooks. We also have public computers that you'd be able to use that don't have Wi-Fi but are hardwired in as for the internet. But you could bring your own smartphone, tablet, or laptop and connect straight into ours. And again, we do have the public computers. We have internet computers that you can log into using your library card and PIN number. If for some reason you do not have all of that information, or maybe you're not one of our patrons from our service area, then you could get a guest pass. So you could talk to the reference desk and they could get you on the computer. We also have just Microsoft Office computers. So if you're just wanting to do some little bit of work in Excel or Word, then that would be perfect for you. We do have children's department game computers, so you could bring the kiddos in and look for those books in the children's department while they're playing with their games. Do keep in mind, though, that children in the children's department need to be accompanied by an adult if they're 6 years or under, or a sibling 15 years or older. So you wouldn't want to just drop them off and just kind of leave them running around if they're a little too young to be doing that, or even drop them off and not be in the building at all. So the library is not a babysitting facility, so just keep that in mind. We're here to educate you guys, so we want to make sure we do that, and we want all involvement, including parents and children. So when you come into the children's department to use those game computers or let your kiddos use those, please be nearby. So if there's any issues or problems, we'd be able to contact you. We do also have a computer lab here at the library that you'd be able to use. It does cost money if you're using it for your own personal use, but we do have some that you can use here at the library during the times that we actually have open lab time, which is the last Saturday of the month during Tech Talk, or if we actually have computer classes that are being available to you. We do have the print, copy, and fax. You're going to find this in a few different areas on our website. So we do allow you to print and copy. The print and copier is available for patron usage. The printer is accessible for any of our public area access computers. All jobs sent to the printer and not retrieved after 3 hours will be deleted. And this just lets you know about that pricing for that. We do offer you wireless printing by pushing on this little tab here. You have to be in the library though for this to work, just to let you know. So you can't be over there at mom and dad's house trying to print here at the library. You'd have to be here in the library, so just keep that in mind. From a file, this would tell you how to do printing from a file, from email, from an app, and things along those lines. So you can kind of read that a little bit more on your own. We do allow faxes. Sending fax, you will need to fill out a form at the checkout desk, and a staff member will process that fax. And this is the charges whether you are a borrower or a non-borrower, meaning if you are in our residential area or if you are not in our area, the rates would change. And again, there's no charge for receiving a fax. Just make sure that whoever's sending you that fax puts all the information on there, especially if you are not a patron of ours. We'd have no way of looking you up to be able to contact you. So make sure you're telling them your name and your phone number and everything you need to do that. We do have a scanner that you can use for whatever reason you would need to scan it, and the reference desk librarian is always there to assist you with that. If you're not very familiar with scanners, then that could be something we could do on a one-on-one appointment. So just keep that in mind. We also have proctoring and notary services here at the library. If you're not familiar with what a proctor is somebody that will sit with you while you're taking a final exam for those college courses. And typically you have to fill out a proctored exam form that you would get from your school, approving the library to be able to do that. So let's say that you live a little bit farther away from school and the library is just a hop, skip, and a jump from you, then we might be able to assist you better than you having to drive all the way into school to have somebody watch you take a test. So keep that in mind. Library does offer a notary service now. We do have 2 notaries on site here at the library. And this just tells you about those hours. Typically, they are available from 9 to 1 and 2 to 5. However, now that we do have a second notary, she may be here available a little bit more during those lunch hours and in the evening. So definitely check while you're here. Homebound and the 88 computer. The Homebound is each Thursday. Of course, if the weather's permitting, we deliver materials to patrons who are unable to visit the library. These would be people that might be in our group homes and things along those lines who just aren't able to get out. So if you're not a part of that and you would like to be a part of that program, you can call us here at the library and we can get you registered to do so. Now, you do have to be fully homebound. If you're still going to the store on your own and you're kind of out and about and you're doing things on your own, then you're technically not considered homebound. Okay, homebound would be those patrons that are just not leaving the home everybody has to bring something to them because they're not able to leave. So, but they'll check into you and make sure everything's good to go before they get you signed up. We do have an ADA computer. This is an ADA compatible computer, which is available for, this would be your hearing type computer. So that computer would be available for accessibility. It's an accessibility type computer. And again, the reference desk would be able to help you for that. We also have the Indiana State Library Services for the Blind. And this is the information that they have for you on that. And then our outreach programs. We do have the Wait and Read program. Each week we go to different locations. And at this time we are going to the Bowen Center, Bruja, Dr. Hatcher's office, House of Style, Parkview Whitley Hospital in the main lobby, Quality Inn, Senior Center, Sheer Envy, Super 8 Motel, and the Whitley County Courthouse on the 3rd floor, as well as the Whitley County Jail. So we do have books that we bring there. Take a book and read it. If you return it, that's great too. Every 6 weeks, Peabody Public Library delivers bulk quantities of books to 4 assisted living centers as well. The Blue River Senior Center Apartments, Clugston, On the Square, Oak Point, and Sycamore Village. We do have a mobile library which goes out into different communities, so you are able to return those books, and you can see them listed here as well. And the upcoming outreach would be listed here also. So this is all about help and services, and there's quite a bit of it. So I highly encourage you take the time to pause and minimize this video and get in there and kind of look at some of these services and see if there's going to be anything that might benefit you. Okay, so we are going to move on to our next tab. This is probably going to be one of the biggest tabs we've done yet, just because of all the information that is available to us on that. And this is our research tab. The research tab allows you to look for genealogy, oral history, colleges and careers, homework help, as well as all online resources. And I keep talking about all these online resources, and we really haven't gone into any of them yet. So that's what's going to make this so huge. So let's go into our genealogy. The genealogy is fantastic here at the library. We have a subscription to Ancestry.com as well as Heritage Quest. We are involved with Indiana Memory and the Obituary database. So by clicking on the Ancestry.com, if you're here inside of the library, then you would be able to use some of the features as soon as it comes up here. Now, this would not allow you to create your own family tree. Sorry about that. In order for you to create your own family tree, you would have to have a paid subscription through Ancestry, your own personal subscription. But this would be really, really great for you to be able to use as just a resource or for the researching purposes of it. So definitely take a look at our Ancestry.com. As well as Heritage Quest. You can use that inside the library or outside. If you choose the outside the library option from your home, then your options would be slightly different than they would on the inside. But you pretty much have all the same options in there. Excuse me. So Heritage Quest is brought to you also by Ancestry.com. They own them both. The difference between the both of them is Heritage Quest will go back to the 1700s, whereas Heritage Quest does not begin until the 1800s. So this goes a little bit farther back, and you can get research aids and maps as well. Indiana Memory, this is made possible through the collaborative efforts of libraries, public libraries, historical societies, and things along those lines. This is all about Indiana, and can tell you who your contributors are. These are all of the Indiana libraries or associations that have something to do with the of all of the information that's inside of this. So I do believe that the Peabody Public Library is on here, so we would push on that, and we offer historical Whitley County. But some of these other ones might have other links that you can get to. Allen County Public Library, which is in Fort Wayne, Indiana, has some really good resources as well. So this is all about Indiana and the contributors of Indiana, which would be primarily all of your libraries and things along those lines. Historical Whitley County, which I had talked to you about just a moment ago. These are any kind of collections that have something to do with our particular county. So if you live here in Whitley County as a part of Columbia City, Indiana, then this would be a great resource for you to be able to go in and find some of those collections through Whitley County. We also have here at the library an OBIT database. The OBIT database allows you to find particular obituaries depending on. So we can go into the search function, and let's say I'm just going to type in a random name. John Smith. Sounds good. We're going to go ahead and click find. And once we click on find, now we have several options that have John Smith on them. And I'm just going to choose, and that gives you the date of their death. So let's find one from the 1800s. That sounds fantastic. And this lets us know where we can actually find that resource. It's in the Digest of Obituaries in Columbia City, which is Whitley County, and those were the years, and how you can actually find that. Some of these would actually take you to our OBIT database, or our microfilm reader. So if we click on this, this lets you know that this was in the Noble County Kendall News. So we would not have this on microfilm, but you get the idea. This is just an obituary finder. And of course, in the Indiana room, which is I'm going to take you straight into it. And I think we've already been in here once. That is where you would find that information, is in the Indiana room. Custom genealogy searches, you'd be able to search. This is just a generic link that would take you into some other type of genealogy. So you could just type in what it is you're looking for. Highly recommend you kind of try some of these out. These are some favorite genealogy links on the web, and it tells you what they do. So if you're wanting to look at the Indiana Pioneer Cemeteries Restoration Project, this lets you know about where to find it and what it is. So this is all about the genealogy. Now, oral history, we have a lot of oral history interviews that you can look at on our website dating back to World War II. As we all know, some of those veterans are no longer with us and keep passing every day. So being able to have these interviews is vital to us, and we are very, very excited to be able to bring that to our patrons. It tells you how long the video is, what it's going to be covering, and who the actual person was. So if you're into some of that wartime stuff, or anything that has to do with the oral history of the world, then you could actually click on some of these. And this just tells you a little bit about Whitley County oral history. It tells you about what was going on during that time here in Whitley County. Other types of conflicts that could be on there. So this is our oral history project. Colleges and careers. These are some valuable resources we have. Best schools. Oh no, we'll have to let her know about that link as well. Guide to online schools. This is just going to help those college students be able to find schools that they may be looking for. You do have Online U. And again, it's the same type of thing, how much you're going to pay in tuition, things along those lines. Let me try this link one more time. All right, well, I will have to let her know about that. Okay, so that is that part. Sorry, was writing that down so I didn't forget. Okay, so now we're going to go over to the homework help. The homework help is amazing. Artist Works for Libraries. This is all about learning how to use those. Oh, let me get myself logged in. It is linked to your library card. So when you do create an account, that is why. It does not like me today. All right, well, maybe we can go ahead and get started without an account. Here, let me play this.
Artist Works for Libraries offers you the highest quality instructive music and art lessons available online today. These video libraries are recorded by our award-winning and highly acclaimed teaching artists and presented so that learners of all skill levels and experience can progress. We provide detailed lessons in a wide variety of instruments, genres, and mediums. Our lessons cover the fundamentals for those just starting out, intermediate lessons for those slightly more experienced, and advanced lessons for more seasoned learners. You'll also have access to sample video exchanges in each skill level. Artist Works for Libraries is a great way to learn music or art on your own schedule from the comfort of your home, while having access to today's most sought-after teachers.
Okay, so that gives you a little bit better understanding of what Artist Works is. All right, driving tests. Driving tests is an awesome one. This allows those kiddos to get in there and take some practice tests before they actually go to the BMV and take the test. They're categorized by easy, hard, and hardest. So you can kind of test the kids before they actually go in. Inspire. This is something that we've talked about briefly before. Inspire is a website that is made up of a ton of different databases. These databases are all scholarly databases, meaning all the information you get from them are all going to be factual, and you're not going to have to worry about any of that information not working out for you, okay? If I tried to teach you about Inspire right now, this would take up the entire class. So if you are curious and want to learn a little bit more about Inspire, please get in contact with me. We can schedule you an appointment so we can kind of go over some of it. But these are all very scholarly types of different databases that you can use to try to find some of the those information items that you may be looking for. ProCitizen, we'll go ahead and click on that. This helps the immigrants be able to become preparing for the U.S. citizenship. And quite honestly, I have never gotten into this, so let's see how it's set up. It does work through your library card, so you would need your library card number in order to get yourself access onto the ProCitizen. And it's brought to us by Pronunciator.
Welcome to ProCitizen. If you want to become a naturalized U.S. citizen, you must take the naturalization test. This course will help you prepare for the civics, reading, and writing portions of the naturalization test. Through a series of 100 informative videos, plus practice exercises and quizzes, you will learn everything you need to know to successfully pass the naturalization test.
Very neat. All right, so that kind of lets you know a little bit more about what they do. Pronunciator, this teaches you different languages. See if they have a video for that. They are a part of the ProCitizen as well, but I'm not sure if they have a video. But you'd be able to learn different kinds of languages. It offers 80 different languages. Let's see if they give us a video. Nope, no video. But you can put down what you naturally speak at home and actually put in what it is you want to learn.
Welcome to Pronunciator's Russian courses. Start your language journey by selecting an option from the course menu on the right. If you're an independent learner, then the main course is right for you, with its flexible organization and fun extras like movies, music, and more. But if you prefer a more structured approach, then select one of the multi-week learning guides. You can also jump into the main course and learn with postcards, which are guided and don't require a microphone.
Okay, so that kind of explained a little bit more to us on what Pronunciator does. It's just learning different languages. It's actually quite cool. Turk, this is Testing and Educational Reference Center. You can actually get to this from Inspire. This is a database from Inspire. When I was showing you Inspire alphabetically, you can find Turk. And this just gets you tools to prepare you for college. This is a great one for those teachers. So if you're a teacher and you're looking for something for a reference area, then Turk would be the one for you. Preschool and elementary, ABC Mouse. Go ahead and click on that. ABC Mouse is just a virtual, so I'm going to pick my avatar. I'm going to put in how old I am. And I'm going to go ahead and get started. Now in here I actually have a bunch of interactive things I can do.
Go to the classroom.
Yeah. So this is ABC Mouse through the library. If you come to the library, we have a subscription that's paid for, so you do not have to pay for it. However, if you want to access it outside of the library, you would have to have your own subscription. We do have A to Z the USA. This gives you maps and things around the United States of America, not only how to get there, but what you could see while you're there. It's basically your travel guide. Kind of get you going, and it's going to load up here. So let's say that you wanted to go to New York City. So we are going to go to New York. Now, being in New York, this just kind of gives you a picture as well as some of the highlights, the people, the economy, and you can go into some of the other things that it may have in there. But here's your state flag, some highlights, Niagara Falls, Times Square, Manhattan, things along those lines. So this is a great little travel agent that can help you get going for your travel needs. Before5.org. This just helps those kiddos right before 5. This is more for the parents to kind of get them going. Anything about blog, how can we help you, links, and things along those lines. Explora for elementary schools from Inspire, so you get this access to you from Inspire. This is just a database that you can go into, but it's a great resource and all scholarly. Nothing fake, no fake news here. And then PBS Kids, and this is a PBS Kids is a pretty fun one.
On PBS Kids, Nature Cat boldly goes where he's never gone before.
Why does it always have to be water?
It's an aquatic adventure of epic proportions. Nature Cat, ocean commotion. When Hal's best friend is lost at sea.
Okay, so we kind of get the idea with that. But these are very fun, and we have different ones, Bob the Builder, Cat in the Hat, and these are all through PBS. And recommended study links. These are just some recommended type of study links as far as homework help would go. Now, all of our online resources, A to Z, some of them we've already kind of gone through, but I'm just going to kind of talk about them briefly. We talked about ABC Mouse. We talked about Ancestry.com as Artist Works. That's learning those, music lessons of some type, whether that's an instrument or your voice. A to Z databases, we have not talked about that. And what it is it allows you to help find a job, find a business. If you're a new business in town, or maybe you're just a new resident in town, this can show you a lot of information. It'll show you who your neighbors are, how much they paid for their house, how much your house is worth, things along that. This is all information coming to you as public knowledge. So it's all documents that is considered public. So anything that would be in the phone book, any warranty cards you've ever filled out, anything that you've made public. That's what A to Z Databases offers you for that. We talked about A to Z USA. That was that travel guide. We do have Bookflix. Bookflix allows you to pair up books with ideas.
Watch a video and have some fun. Read a book online. You're still not done. Learn new things and play games too. Listen to Beacon. He'll tell you what to do.
Click on a category, or click on the feature to begin.
Okay, so that's Bookflix, and it just kind of matches things up for you. Chilton's Library helps you repair your vehicle, tells you what kind of service maintenance you may need, things along those lines. You'd select your make and model to get going on that. Comics Plus is all about comic books, and this would be something that's brought to you from RB Digital Gateway as well. And I was just going to try to, I don't know why it's not coming on, but this would be digital digital comic books that you'd be able to get into. Heritage Quest, we talked about that. Hoopla. Hoopla, again, is linked to you by your library card number. And you would just put your library card number in. But you can get comic books on here as well. TV series, things along those lines. Hoopla is streamed, so it does require for you to have internet to work properly. Hoosier State Chronicles, this is from Inspire. It's just newspapers from all around this Hoosier State here. Indiana Legal Forums, this is just a public site from, this one's from Gale. So you would be able to get in there and get some of those forms that you need legally. Indiana Newspapers from Inspire. Again, this is just a database. Books and authors. This is all Inspire. So that's what all of this is. So you can go into the Inspire link, click on database A to Z, and all of those are your databases. So you can kind of read on what's going to benefit you the most. Newsbank gives you local news as well as news around the world and just in America. Because we are here in Columbia City, we actually have the Post and Mail as one of our primary newspapers. But this would give you all of the main topics that are going on right now. ONET allows you to research colleges, get ready for that career choice once you're out. Overdrive allows you to go in there and get ebooks and audiobooks and all things good like that. And this is available on app for your smartphone or tablet as well. We talked about ProCitizen, we talked about Pronunciator, and Zenio for libraries is magazines that are digital. By coming in here and clicking on a magazine, once it loads, now I'm able to check it out. Oh, maybe not. I don't remember how to get in. I'm probably going to have to create a new account. But once you're in there, then you'd be able to actually stroll through that magazine. And again, this is stuff that's streamed. These are also some other kinds of online resources, books, movies, and music. We've talked about a lot of those already. Genealogy, general research, as well as our oral history and remote printing. Wow, we got through it. That was huge, right? It took me like 25 minutes to go through just the research tab. It's quite huge. It's quite large. So I want you to be able to have plenty of time to go over some of the stuff that we did. So go ahead and minimize this video and go into the research side of this and start exploring some of those awesome online resources we have. They're free to you. Why not? You're not paying for any of it. So go in there and check them out and see how they're going to benefit you. All right, well, we are just moving right along, and now we are going to talk about the About Us tab that the library offers here on their website. And on the About Us tab, these are the items that you would be able to find. Our hours and location, and this tells you all of our hours, closings that we have of holidays, as well as our address and how to find us. Any kind of policies that we offer. We do have a library policy manual as well as collection development. This is our board of trustees. These are the folks that keep this place going, as well as our director here at the library. So we want to give them high props. They are fantastic people, as well as any board meetings that may be going on, any budget notices, and old minutes that may be on here. This is staff and employment. So any kind of job openings that might be available here at the library, you may not only be able to see that on the home page, but you would also be able to find it back here in staff and employment. And it kind of gives you a list of all of these are all the department heads here at the library. These are the people in charge of particular departments. And then this is the rest of us. And you can see I'm right down here, close to the bottom. So that's no picture though. Sorry about that. But anyway, so now we can go on to the Friends of the Library. We have to give Friends of the Library lots of props. They do a lot for us here at the library, getting money together for us, having fundraisers. things along those lines. So we are able to have these great things that we have. If you are interested in becoming a member of the Friends of the Library, this is your membership information right here. And then you would be able to contact Donna Harrell, and there is her number. Depending on when you may be watching this, that information could change, so you'd want to check back. Any kind of history and statistics. This is our mission statement here at the library. The Peabody Public Library serves all individuals and organizations as a pathway to learning, culture, and entertainment. These are our values and beliefs, as well as any other kind of information that we might have. This is history on the Peabody Public Library. And then we have the virtual tour. This is the Indiana room right here. This is our periodical room that has all the magazines in it. This is the wetlands outside of the library. This is the adult services area. This is the children's department area. This is our auditorium located in the basement. And this is one of our community rooms here at the library. So that was your virtual tour. So now you know a little bit more about us and how you can find out information. Next, we're going to be talking about being able to find activities here at the library. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the different ways that you can find activities here at the Peabody Public Library. There are different ways that you can do this. While you are on our homepage here at the library, you do have this today's activities. This tells you about what's coming up today. You can also click on View All Events, and this will actually take you to our calendar. Our calendar is color-coded by department. So if you are looking for a children's department program, then you would be looking for something in red. If you're looking for a young adults program, then you would be looking for something in purple. If you were looking for an adult program, then you would be looking for something in blue. If you're looking for something technology-wise, then you would be looking for something in the green area. The black areas, those are just general programs that would be open to anyone and everyone here at the library. And you can also go ahead to other months. Oops. You would also be able to check ahead. So this is what's going on in July. Anything highlighted in yellow means that the library would be closed, and it's indicated pretty clearly for you there. So this is one way that you can get in to look at some of our activities. Another way is just by clicking on calendar, and that would take you straight to our calendar as well. Now, once you're actually in the calendar, then you would be able to click on the event and read the description to see if it's something you'd be interested in. Anything with a line underneath it indicates that you do have to sign up for that program. This would not, they want to know who's coming. So, by just clicking on that, then you would be able to, let me find one that's coming up here. So by clicking on this, then you'd be able to fill out the information and get yourself registered. If there's a fee that would need to be paid, then you can pay that at the circulation desk for those programs, and they'll get you all set up and marked paid. So these are different ways that you can find activities here at the library, as well as under Make, Do, and Learn. You can go to all classes, and these have a lot of our classes listed as well. Clicking on View All Events will take you to our calendar. So any way you go about it, you're going to end up at our calendar. Why don't you right now go ahead and minimize this video. You should still have our website up, and go in there and explore some of the different programs that the library has to offer. Also keep in mind that under that Make, Do, and Learn All Classes link, you do have technology classes that are available to you on YouTube, and they are put in categories. So for free software and apps, general computers, Microsoft Office, and tablets and smartphones. Okay? So don't forget about those. And also one-on-one appointments are always free here at the library. And even if you live in another state, that would be okay. We could do this via email. We could even do it using FaceTime or Skype or something along those lines as well. So I do work with several people that do even live in my state to all the time. And we can even do phone time where we can talk to each other and work out what we need. But this is how you find where our classes and activities are. And next we're going to be talking about our catalog. So let's get geared up and ready to go for that. So our catalog is pretty easy to get to. You can get to that right here on the home page or the main interface of the Peabody Public Library's website. And we would just push on catalog. By pushing on catalog, it's going to take us straight over to the Evergreen, Indiana website, which you should have a library card for if you are a service center or part of our service area here at the library. And the way that this works is I would just search for whatever I am looking for and click search. And now I'm going to, right now I'm searching just in Columbia City Peabody Public Library. And I spelled the author's name wrong. See what that does. Still, okay, it's whirling around here. And once this gets done, then I can show you how we can search the entire Evergreen system. But right now I'm just looking it up by author to see what I can pull up that's available here at the library where I am located to see what kind of Janet Ivanovich books might be out there. I don't know what kind of author you might be into, but I would definitely minimize this and get into our catalog. I'm going to change this to Evergreen, Indiana. And it's being very slow today. Let's see here. Let's try that again. We're going to go out to the catalog. I'm going to change my drop down to Evergreen, Indiana. And now I am going to type in my author. Now you can do this by title. You can do this by author. They do have different formats and styles that you can look for. So now in the catalog, I can see all of these different books that are available. And this is through the entire Evergreen system. So I am no longer just looking on Peabody Public Library's catalogs. I'm looking at all of them. And you can see that I have 8+ pages down here. So this is the catalog. This is how to get into the catalog, as well as search for catalog items. And then if you actually find something that you're looking for, you can click on that. Make sure this tells you what libraries it would be coming from. These are all libraries in Indiana that are a part of the Evergreen, Indiana system. So you can actually see what would be available here. So I could choose my location. And it just gives me their information at that point. But once I'm in here, I can actually place a hold on it if it's not available. There's no holds on it. This is a regular book, so I can place a hold. And by placing a hold, that means I would need to log into my account, which we're going to be talking about accounts here in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and log in, and I will get to that when we get to my account, which is actually the next thing that we're going to talk about. And that's what all this is about. So primarily on this one, I just wanted to show you our catalog, how to get into the catalog, how to explore the catalog, picking your library. Maybe you're not a Peabody Public Library, but you're still here in Indiana. You could check to see if your library is part of the Evergreen system. What's nice about that is that you can check books at one location and drop them off at another, so you wouldn't have to go back. Very, very, very convenient for people. So I'd highly recommend right now going ahead and getting into our catalog and just kind of looking around. Okay, so now we are going to be talking about my account. So we are going to click on the My Account link. And I'm actually going to come out here and log out so I can show you what you would actually be doing. So under My Account, let me push it again. Takes me straight to the Evergreen system. And now I'm actually able to log in by my library card and that PIN number we either gave to you. We definitely gave you one, but you may have come in and changed it. So that's the PIN that you'd be putting in, and I'm going to log in. And by logging in, I can now see that I have 2 items currently on hold. I have one ready for pickup, which I will need to go get. Any kind of fines that I might have, any kind of messages that they want to let me know, items that I have checked out. I don't have anything checked out. These are my holds, account preferences. This just gives my information and my lists. So this is about your account. So if you did have an item checked out and you needed to renew, this would be where you would do it, under the items checked out, and then you would renew there. Anything on hold, this is be where you'd be able to find those. And so forth and so on. So this is all about my account and how to get into your account. If you have any questions about how to get into your account, please contact me here at the library. I would love to assist you with that. And that way you can get going with your best experience. So if you do have an account with us and you already have a library card, then you do already have an account. So if you have a library card and a PIN number, go ahead and get that entered in and kind of take a look at your account and see what's kind of going on with your account. So the next tab that we're going to come to is our news tab. We're just going to talk a little bit about that. You can actually get in there and kind of look around on your own. But I want to show you some of the announcements that we might have. We just got done with our book sale. We're going on with the summer reading program. We have other kinds of little programs that we're doing. And this is the newsletter. So if you wanted to get signed up for the newsletter, you could. And you can even go back and look at past newsletters. So if we wanted to see June's newsletter, we could just push on June. And this is going to pop up for us, so we would be able to see June's newsletter. So if we go back, then that should take us back to our website. And this would just keep accumulating as we got more newsletters done and things along those lines. So this is news. This is what's going on at the library that's important right now. And any of these newsletters you'd be able to look at to see past programs or anything coming up for yourself. So go ahead right now and get into that news link and just kind of take a look at some of those newsletters. All right, so we are almost about halfway through the class here, maybe even just a little bit more than half. And this is probably going to be one of the longest parts of the class itself. And this is going to be all about our online resources. And I know that I kind of went over it briefly earlier, but I want to go into it a little bit more and just kind of go through all of the online resources that we offer here at the library. So under that research tab, we're going to be able to look at all of the online resources. And being in here on the left-hand side, it kind of shows us some online resources by category. We've got books, movies, and music. So topical book lists topical book lists, and these would be some links for those teens for their different book choices. New book alerts. You also have some reading suggestions for adults, and these are just quick links. Topical book lists for adults, and these would be quick links as well to get you right in there. These are snapshots of different kinds of items, so you can kind of explore around inside of that snapshots. Reading suggestions for teens and children, and online materials. Okay. So that's what's on our left-hand side there, and the educational part of it, learn and practice, which we're going to go through all of them A to Z. We do have a genealogy section, general research, oral history, and remote printing. Over here, alphabetically listed are and actually this may not take as long as I think it will. But anyways, the alphabetical listing of the subscriptions that we have here at the library that aren't costing you anything by being a library patron. We have the abcmouse.com, and I do believe that I already kind of briefly showed you what that looked like, and that was for those kiddos to be able to get in there and going to choose an avatar, choose an age, and now everything's going to be geared towards a 4-year-old, and then you'd be able to go through some of these options that they give you. Ancestry.com, this is the library edition, which means that you would not be able to build a family tree off of this. However, you would be able to research what you need to research. In order to get a family tree going, you would have to have your own paid subscription, but this definitely gets you going and ready to go here. And then we've got Artist Works for Libraries, and I do believe we've gone over all these. Artist Works for Libraries is and I even tried to log in last time, and I don't think it let me. Let me try it again. Going to try this again, and it didn't work. Okay, it just doesn't like me. Let me see if I can change it. Oh, it says I don't have an account. Well, heck, let's go ahead and get one going. I know at one time I did, but I haven't been on it in so long. Yeah, I know I have an account. Okay, well, whatever. The Artist Works is all about being able to play music and things along those lines. So the next one would be A to Z Databases. A to Z Databases allows you to go in there and look for a job, find a business, find a person. This is all public knowledge type information. You can also do a background check. It looks like they're under maintenance right now, but typically you would. I'm going to advise you, though, that if you really need a really good, thorough background check, don't use this. You're going to want to pay for that. Okay, you don't want something free. So, and then all the rest of this is just about moving and mailing and things along those lines. So if you're an entrepreneur starting a business, this would be a great resource for you to be able to create mailing lists to send out postcards to advertise your business. We also have A to Z the USA, and I believe I've showed you this before. And A to Z the USA is just a travel type of database that allows you just to kind of travel around. So if we wanted to go to Hawaii, we could push on Hawaii, and it tells us all the information that we want to know about Hawaii. Bookflix, this allows you, we can do it inside the library or outside the library. And this allows you to do book pairs where you can choose a category. We're going to choose a category very quickly. And once you get into that specific category, then you're able to start pairing things. So you can watch the story, you can read the book. They have different kinds of pairs that you can choose from in this particular category, as well as resources. So you could check into some of your resource tabs. Chilton Library, this allows you to understand how to do maintenance on your vehicle. So if I look up my vehicle, I have a 2006, it's alphabetical, Toyota RAV4. Just like that. And now it's going to come in here and I can look up repair, maintenance. Let's see what kind of maintenance. Then I've got a submodel that I can do. I have the Sport 3.5. Drive type, it's a 4-wheel drive. Sport utility automatic. Alright, no operating conditions were found. So there's no scheduled maintenance for mine, evidently. You also have bulletins and recalls, so we could actually look up bulletins and recalls for this vehicle. And front seat squeak noise back in 2006. This is not my particular vehicle. This is just for that vehicle in general. So I know that all of mine have been done. So anyway, you can get into Chilton's that way. Comics Plus is also brought to you by RB Digital Gateway. And this allows you to go in there and look at comic books. It's pretty neat. And we've got driving tests. This helps those kiddos out get ready for those driving exams that they're going to have to face. So these are just practice tests for them. Heritage Quest, Inside and Outside the Library, brought to you from Ancestry.com. And this is just a little bit more as far as genealogy goes and researching your ancestry. Hoopla, this is a fantastic resource. I don't think we've really touched base on Hoopla yet. Looks like I'm logged in, but Hoopla allows you to, you can look at comic books, you can look at TV series, let's see what we can find here. Let's see. We can do audiobooks, movies, music, comics, ebooks. So let's go into movies. And these are the most popular, but you can do it by featured, recommended, or categories. And once you get into the movies, you can borrow them by hearting them. That means that you're putting them in a favorite. So if I go to My Hoopla, that movie should now be in there, but it isn't. Let's see, maybe I did something wrong. Let me go back into movies, Into the Woods. Oh, okay, here's my little heart. And this one's been hearted, so those should be in there for me. Agent Fox. Anything that you see that you want to watch, you would be able to put those in a favorite. And it doesn't matter what you're in, they all allow you to do that. So if I go back to my favorites, there's that Into the Woods and The Ticket. So these are other movies that I have put on there for myself. So that's Hoopla. And you can actually go in and do television. Now keep in mind, when you go in and do television, when you click on it, it actually gives you the different episodes, and each episode is its own download. So you're not just downloading one season, you'd be downloading the entire season per episode. Okay, so keep that in mind. Each one of these are borrowable, and it's like that on all television. And you get 12 checkouts on that a month, and then it renews. Hoosier State Chronicles. This is from Inspire. This would be newspapers that have to do with the Hoosier State. So if we get into this one, this is the Richmond Palladium Daily, Volume 35, number 310, September 15th, 1910. So you could go into different pages. And then you'd be able to see what it's all about over here. I was kind of hoping it would pop it up, but it didn't. All right, and then you've got Indiana legal forms, and I know we've talked about that before. So if you need to file bankruptcy, something about custody, will and estate, bankruptcy, power of attorney, things along those lines, then you'd be able to get in here, and that's brought to you from Gail. As well as Indiana newspapers. This is from Inspire. Oh, I need to write that one down. This is from Inspire. We'll get that link fixed for you. I'm writing it down. Indiana newspapers. Okay. All right. And Best Schools was taken off because that link was broken. And then we have Inspire, and Inspire is just a website that offers you several different types of database choices. So, and each one of these in here gives you a brief description. Now, you also can do that by databases by subject. So if you're not really sure of where your database may fall under, you might want to look for a general category and choose from within there. So if you're doing something about world languages, or you're wanting to learn a language, then then these would have something to do with that. Newsbank. Newsbank offers you different types of newspapers from all over. Here at the library with our subscription, we actually have 3 newspapers or 4 of them, I do apologize, that we actually subscribe to. So the USA, Indiana Post and Mail is our daily, and American New Magazine. You can find a topic of whatever you're looking for in Newsbank, and just type that into these topics. There used to be 16 of them, and now there's only 10. But you can go into social issues, and then you have a bunch of other stuff in there when you get in there. So you also have topics over here on the side. Definitely explore in Newsbank. We have ONET. ONET is for those freshly out of college type students that are looking for an occupation with their type of career. So for instance, I can go into Bright Outlook. I'm going to search for a particular job, and I'm going to hit enter. And then this just kind of gives me, I put in artist. So if I'm looking for an art director job, I can pull that up and it's actually going to give me what I need to know in order to fulfill that job. So that's going to help. And percentage of people that actually have been in this degree of what they've gotten. Things along those lines. So you could type in anything though. So if we typed in librarian. So librarians. If I come in here, now it's telling me this is all technology-based stuff I need. These are the tasks that I would perform, any kind of knowledge, skills, abilities, things along those lines. So you can look up any kind of career that you're looking for there. Overdrive. I'm sure everybody has heard about Overdrive. Overdrive is somewhat similar to Hoopla. However, Hoopla is streamed. It does require internet. You would not be able to use it if you do not have internet. Overdrive is just an app you can download onto your smartphone or tablet, or you could just do it straight through the computer like I'm doing now. And this allows you to download ebooks, audiobooks, also movies. Like I said, very similar to Hoopla. Waiting for that to pull up. All right, so once I'm in my account here, I can look at my loans, check out my holds, anything I've put on my wish list. Here's my search bar that allows me to go in and search for whatever I'm looking for. And actually, I can go into collections. And from here, I'm actually able to go into videos, click available now, or whatever you want, but I'm going to click on available now. These would be items that are actually able to be checked out right now, meaning they're not on hold. So if you wanted to borrow them, then you would just push the borrow button. I am looking to see if there's anything I might actually want to borrow. Some of this gets quite time consuming, so when you're actually looking for materials to either read or watch, you can always click on your little wish list item there, and it automatically puts it on your wish list for you, so that way you don't lose it in the shuffle of the search. Plus, you would be able to go check that out when you're ready. It doesn't have to be right now kind of thing. And let's put that in there. So now if I go to my wish list, which I probably have several things on, and I do. These are those items that I just put on my wish list. And then I have other ones on here as well. Okay. We also have ProCitizen. And I think we've talked about this also. This is brought to you by Pronunciator. And it just helps to get your citizenship here in the United States. And you have courses that you can go through to make sure that you can get that accomplished for yourself. So that's what ProCitizen is. And it's probably just going to come on and start talking. And we've already seen that video. We also have Pronunciator, which allows you to go in and learn different types of languages. And I think we also saw a video on that also. Okay, yeah, we did. So you would just choose your languages. And then we have Zenio for libraries. And Zenio for libraries is just magazines. So you could actually look up the magazine that you want to read. They don't have all of the magazines, but they have quite a few. So then I can check it out. Oh yeah, it's going to want me to do that. And apparently I don't have... my account isn't correct anymore, but this is very similar to Comics Plus and Artist Works because it's brought to you by RB Digital Gateway. All right, so that was all of our online resources. If you have any questions about those, please get in contact with me. I'd love to assist you with them. They're not hard or complicated. They just take some time going through. So I would highly recommend that you go ahead and pause this video at this time and go ahead and get in there and see what kind of online resources might benefit you and what you may want or need. And also what I failed to tell you about in that last one, those online resources can also be gotten to from here as well as the research tab. All right, so now we're going to talk about tech help. This is something that is in my area here at the library. So anybody that needs any help out there, you can always get in contact with me. I do a lot of this through email as well as phone conversations. So even if you don't live by me, I can still help you out. You can also see Learn Technology, which that link is not working. Good to know. I will write that one down as well. But we do have the mobile lab, and this is where we go out and about. Sorry, I'm writing this down. This is where we go out and about into the community where you can come to me anywhere outside of the library. So that is what the mobile lab is for. We also have Tech Talk. That happens on the last Saturday of every month from 9 to 1. However, in the summertime, we do have the Tech Talk at the farmers market here in Columbia City. So if you're a resident of Columbia City, you can always find me up at the farmers market between June and September-ish, or actually May, I believe, in September. If for some reason there'd be rain or something along those lines, then it would just be moved here at the library. So you would just come in here. And again, that's just Open Computer Lab. The online resources, these are quick reference cards that you can get to, Overdrive, Android, iPad, Kindle, and Nook, as well as all the technology classes that are offered, which you're on right now. And you can see that there is quite a hefty amount of them. I do believe I have 43 streamed classes on YouTube, so there's plenty of them for you to search from. And again, one-on-one appointments are always free. They typically last about an hour, and we just go over whatever it is that you want to go over. If you need any kind of help like that, this is my email. You can email me here at bgaff@ppl.lib.in.us. You can also call me at 260-244-5541, extension 118. Another quick access link that we have for you is Print, Copy, Scan, and Fax. Here at the library, we offer several different kinds of services to our patrons and to our non-patrons. So being able to print and copy, a printer copier is available for the patron's usage. The printer is accessible from any of our public area computers. All jobs sent to the printer and not retrieved after 3 hours will be deleted. So you would need to make sure you get your items. Pricing is as follows: black and white 10 cents, colors 25 cents. You can also do legal paper as well as two-sided, which is the same price as 2 pages. We do offer wireless printing. Wireless printing gives you the ability to print to the library's printer from virtually anywhere by using an app, uploading a file, or sending it via email. You can do that from a file. If you're printing on a web page or file saved on your laptop or mobile device, you can click here to get started. Black and white printing is selected by default. Choose Color Public Access Printer if you wish to print in color. They can also help you at the reference desk with these items, or your information desk here at the library. Faxes are sent and received at the checkout desk. To be able to send a fax, you will need to fill out the form at the checkout desk, and a staff member will process your fax and payment. If you are a patron here of the Peabody Public Library, it costs you $1 per page for local or long distance with a borrower's card. If you are not a patron of the library, it's $2 per page, local or long distance, and you do not have to have a card. Exception to the above would be made at the discretion of the librarian in charge. If you're receiving a fax, there is no charge for receiving a fax, but make sure that if you're receiving that fax, that you've given us all the information we need to be able to contact you to let you know it's here, especially if you're not a patron of the library and we don't have you in our system. because that can get fun sometimes. And we also have a flatbed scanner available in the public use. The scanner can be used for documents up to legal size using the document feeder, or up to letter size on the flatbed portion. It can also be used to scan transparent photo negatives and slides. The software includes OCR to convert scanned documents to text. Scan files can be printed, uploaded to the internet, and saved to your portable device. This is a free service that does not require a library card. This is all about our print, copy, scan, and fax. And don't forget, we do have 2 notaries on site as well. If you have any questions about this, please don't hesitate to get in contact with me or the library staff. Moving right along here from the little links that we have here, we're going to go to finding materials. And being able to find materials here at the library is pretty important. You can actually search the catalog here. So I'm just going to look up an author. Helps if I know how to type. If I go to search, then it's going to take me straight to the Evergreen system. And we talked about the Evergreen system previously, so I'm not going to be touching base on that again, but Janet Ivanovich, so that got me right in there. Okay, you do have an advanced search that you can go into, and that's also going to shoot you off to the Evergreen system. Find more. You can get new book alerts. You can get online materials, and these are some of the things we've already talked about. Reading suggestions. These are some of those topics that we've already gone into, the snapshots and things like that. Up here is browsing the catalog. You can click here and it'll take you straight over to the Evergreen system. You do have a simple search. So if I click on the simple search, again, takes me to the Evergreen system, but now I'm in simple search format. As well as being able to look for different formats, large prints, CDs, DVDs, and you can choose which library system you wish to search for. Don't forget about that. So again, this is just getting you in to be able to get those materials. We've definitely gone over it lengthy already, so I'm not going to go into it any further, but if you have any questions about how to get materials here at the library, please get in contact with me. Okay, so now we're going to go back to the home screen, and we're going to actually go into book a room. I don't think we've really talked too much about filling out the process of booking a room. Peabody Public Library has a number of meeting rooms available for public use. You can reserve them in person at the library, on the phone by calling us, or online, which you can do straight from here. You are responsible to read and agree to the meeting room guidelines before reserving the room. So please note that rooms are available only during library hours, and you must include setup and teardown time in your reservation. Okay. So approved uses for the library. The public meeting rooms are not to be used for private events, which would be likely to interfere with normal library operating hours, including any of the following: loud, amplified music, food preparation, or substantial food service, use of public facilities like restrooms, which would tend to exclude use by the public, consumption of alcohol beverage, and unsupervised minors. Room descriptions. This tells you about the different rooms we have, how big they are, what you can get in them. The fees are as follows. The Auditorium 1 is $21.40. Auditorium 2 does not include the stage, and it's $21.40. Auditorium 1 through 3 is $53.50, and this is in a 4-hour increment. Community Room A and B together. Computer classrooms, and the study rooms. And then, of course, there's certain days where the rooms, or these are the hours that the rooms would be available to you to use. The process of scheduling. You do have to be 18 years of age or older, present a valid ID. We do have a meeting room liability statement. If you click on that, oops. Well, it's just good to know that that's not coming up either. Let me write that one down. Doesn't do you any good, huh? All right. So let's get out of there. But typically the meeting room liability statement would come up. Non-endorsement policy, policy for meeting a non-library group, equipment and telephone use, responsibility of the users, smoking beverages. Smoking is neither prohibited in the library nor within 8 feet of any door, and the liability clause. Once you've read everything, you click I have read the guidelines, request a meeting room. So here's where you would be able to go in and actually reserve your room. Oops, sorry about that. And by doing so, then you would just come down here and choose on whatever it is that you're looking for. Again, it's in 4-hour increments, and keep in mind that you do have to make sure you're giving yourself teardown and setup time. If you've reserved the room from 9 to 1, you may not want to tell your party the party starts at 9 because you can't get into the library until 9. So you wouldn't be able to set up. Just keep that in mind. If you have your library card number, it's helpful. However, you do not have to have it. All it does is pre-fill in information. I can click quick entry, and now it's going to start to fill in some of my info. If I know I'm going to have 25 people, again, it depends also on the room I'm choosing. This is going to be a Christmas party since I booked a December date. It's just a party. My name, my telephone number, my address, my email for confirmation. This is a social event. And then I would click verify request. And by clicking verify request, then it's going in. Then I hit submit request. Then I would be in there. I'm going to go ahead and cancel it though. So that is how you reserve a room. If you have any questions about that, please get in contact with me or call us here at the library, and we can definitely get you through that process. Our next tab we're going to go over is the classes tab. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. These are classes that are offered to you at the library. It could be technology classes or any kind of department type classes. How to sign up for classes. If you're interested in signing up for one of the classes, you can call the library, or you can register online as well. So these are online classes that they're actually online resources. However, they've classified them. We've got our quick reference cards. These are your technology classes on YouTube, preschool and elementary, as well as different types of study links. So these are all about the classes. They're obviously very, very good classes. I haven't heard anything bad about any of them. We have people signing up for them all the time. So I definitely would suggest you go ahead and minimize this video and get into the calendar and or actually get onto our website. I do apologize. And click on that classes link. Again, that's on your home tab. As soon as you turn it on, you're going to push on classes, and it's going to take you straight into where all those classes are. This even allows you to go in and register for the classes if you needed to. So go ahead and give those a try and see what you think. Okay, so we also offer you some quick links, and these quick links are going to be located right here, and this just gets you around the website as well. So if you're looking for something and you can't find it, you can come here to the quick links and decide what it is exactly you're wanting to do. Maybe it has something to do with your account through Evergreen, checking some of those programs, seeing what's going on here at the library, want to stop by and return those books, but you're not sure what time we close. Being able to sign up for a library card. Maybe you're having a party, you'd like to book a room. You can also request materials, support us with our wish lists that we have, and then be able to go back to the home button. We also offer you available links to take you in. So this one is Twitter, and then we have Facebook, Instagram, and Google Maps. That's what that one was. So we've got Google Maps as well as Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So we're on just about everything. Good for us. Aren't we lucky? And then I want to talk to you about the Ask a Librarian. That would be right here. This is that link to get you. You can either call us here at the library and ask the librarian a question, or send us an email to librarian@ppl.lib.in.us. And again, these are any kind of notes that are going to be coming up. And we do have one last thing to talk about, and it's not going to take us real long. So I'm going to go ahead and get that nipped in the bud here. This is our Search the website. So if you're wanting to learn technology, you can type that in and now search our website, and anything with those words in it is going to pop up. So if you want to book a room and you can't seem to find where it's located, just type in book a room, and now anything that has those words in it. So you should have no problems getting to what it is exactly you want to be able to do. So again, these are just your quick links, how to search the website for things that we have already talked about. Most of the things that we offer are on several different pages, so you should be able to find them in different locations. So you're not just stuck with one place to find them. You can go other places and they're listed there as well. Go ahead right now, minimize this video, click on some of these quick links, go into some of these tabs we've gone into. Just explore around the website because the class is all over and you made it through it. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. Congratulations, you did it. You made it through the Peabody Public Library website class today. And keep in mind that without you, these classes could not happen. Thank you for taking the time to watch and listen about the Peabody Public Library's website. You can always watch more stream classes online on our website at www.ppl.lib.in.us. Don't forget, one-on-one appointments are available for you, and they're always free. So you can call me today to make an appointment. You can also join my group on Facebook called Tech Talk Technology. Take a deep breath, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. You made it through it. You've probably created an account, and hopefully you have a better understanding of our website. Thanks so much for being a part of it.